right, I'm done with bodybuilding, that's it. I am a sweaty, horrible mess. I would lie to you and say it's just because I've done a massive workout or something like that, but it's not. Just been for a little walk in the sun and I'm absolutely dripping. It's 27 degrees apparently, and I'm ginger. Brave, very brave. So I wanted to do a little sit down talk. We need to have a chat. We need to have a talk, guys. So yeah, just wanted to give a bit of an update on where things have been at since the last show, in terms of training, diet, life, everything like that. Just a bit of an update, so to speak. So it's been a challenge, to be fair. It really has. I think the hardest bit has been not having a goal, a set goal, you know, something set in stone, and then you work so hard during prep that everything, literally everything you do comes down to the show day. So you know you've got that date, you've got that time, you're stepping on stage, everything matters. And not having that, we're almost stuck in a bit of limbo, I think. Limbo. So, shut up for you. So yeah, I felt a little bit lost with training really. And I mean, I am quite good in terms of sticking to a diet, so obviously still being on board with Josh. What he was telling me to eat I was just doing, apart from obviously with the holidays and little off-plan bits and stuff, off-plan foods and things like that, I can go a little bit wild because my appetite is mad, to say the least. So I think relationship with food as well takes a bit of a hit post-show, or can take a bit of a hit, depending who you are and how you respond to it. I found myself almost binge eating a little bit. Like, yeah, not even a little bit, a lot. Like I said, Josh was giving me sort of saying, allowing for an off-plan meal a week, and I was just taking that as, let's just eat everything in sight for a period of time that you may deem as a meal, you may not. But I think that I've got that back under control now, or definitely more so, in a better position. What I have been doing, to be honest, is even with the off-plan meals or off-plan foods, I've just been tracking them. Just helps me sort of stay a little bit more accountable with things and not lose my head and go daft. And I think where my physique is at the minute is a reflection of that. You know, staying quite relatively lean, in good shape, quite happy with things. But what I do want to do is have that take a sort of a mental shift away from being so bothered about my physique, because obviously it's all relative, isn't it? Like I'm not massive, still not shredded, but to some they might look at me and think, well, that guy's in mega shape. But to me it's like, well, I'm not as lean as I was for the show, and I'm not that big anymore, because I'm sort of in a little bit in between. But that sort of shift in focus is, I think, what's needed. And I'd always said once I sort of stepped away from bodybuilding, I was going to get into more just health and fitness focused. So that's what the goal is now. So I think I just needed a bit of a kick up the arse and actually step into gear and sort of, like I say, shift that focus. I'd always said I wanted to do more sort of functional training, not become a CrossFitter. I'm not going to be a CrossFitter, but I needed that bit of a kick up the arse to actually start it. And funnily enough, I was approached by a casting agent, not casting couch, for the show Gladiators. She sounded super keen, mega keen. She said, "I'll send over this application. We do like testing days and see how you are in front of a camera, things like that," which I thought was really interesting and something that, you know, an opportunity not to be missed. So sent my application in, but never heard back. But obviously off the back of that, it was a case of, right, if they're going to do testing days in terms of fitness, it's like, well, I've just only been bodybuilding for God knows how long. So my level of fitness was shocking. I thought, if I'm going to go on a show like that, I'll get eaten alive. So that was the kick up the arse that we needed to get into these sort of more circuit training and improve my fitness. But like I say, obviously not ever came of that, which is a little bit annoying. But such is life. So obviously when I was approached by them, it was like, right, I'm done with bodybuilding, that's it. I'm going to become fit and healthy, all focused on that. So we changed up my programming to incorporate a lot more fitness, more circuits, bit of running, things like that. But then when obviously I didn't hear anything from it, I was like, well, I'm not doing enough of the hypertrophy training. That's my sort of bread and butter. It's what I really enjoy. Don't get me wrong, I enjoy doing the circuits. It's just my level of fitness is so low that it's that hard that I'm not fully enjoying it, not fully sort of engrossed in it just yet. But I think now it's just going to be a case of just finding the balance between the two. So a couple of circuits a week, predominantly hypertrophy training, but more just enjoying training. So if any of you follow me on Instagram, you'll see on my stories where I used to be, you know, absolutely meticulous. Take that with a pinch of salt. Absolutely meticulous form, execution. You know, as soon as that rep quality started to deteriorate, I'd be like, right, set's done. That I've reached muscular failure there. No more. Now, if I want a bit of a body swinging, a bent over barbell row, something like that, just so I can sling a bit of weight about, I'm going to do it. Just here to have some fun. Like I say, you know, I have worked hard to get the physique I wanted when I stepped on stage. So now, you know, do I need to be so obsessed with how I look when I'm happy with how I look? And it's that shift in mindset that I have been sort of struggling with. It's like I say, you know, well, everyone knows that bodybuilding just takes over your life. Every meal, all your steps, all your cardio, all your training, everything is to the letter. So now trying to transition over into being a little bit more relaxed with food, with training, things like that. I have been struggling a little bit, but everything's on the up. We're thinking positive, we're enjoying things, but I think it'll just take some time. Let's not rush it, let's not force it. When it's there, it's there. And I think I do want to get into a place where, just before I started this bodybuilding journey, I absolutely loved my training. I was probably overly relaxed with food, and physique reflected that. You know, a little bit skinny fat, but I just enjoyed life. Not to say I don't enjoy life now. My life's fucking amazing. But yeah, just need to get back to that. Be a little bit easier on myself at times, which take a lot from bodybuilding. You know, that constant obsession to tick the boxes, to do everything by the book. Is, yeah, there's a time and a place for it, but it's not all the time. You know, I should be able to go out and enjoy food and drinks with the wife, with the family, without having to stress about numbers and logging foods and tracking everything. Just take that step away, just like I say, just enjoy it, which I think everyone should do, unless you're taking it obviously to the extremes of bodybuilding. You know, if you're going to the gym to get fit and healthy, go get fit and healthy. Enjoy a pizza on a weekend, enjoy a couple of beers with lads. You know, there's no harm. Yeah, so I think that summarises everything, to be honest. That's where we're at. Got a holiday booked in September from Mexico. It's a bit of a secondary honeymoon we're doing, as the first one wasn't quite what we wanted. It was still lovely, still really nice. So, you know, maybe if I just take my foot off the gas a little bit for now, probably won't, to be fair. If my physique does dip a little bit, you know, could I tighten things up within 4-6 weeks before that, if needed? Or if, like I say, I get my mindset to be where I'm just enjoying training, I'm getting stronger, I'm getting fitter, I'm happy with how I look, then that'll be a much better position to be in, I think. I'll still be strutting around the pool in my Speedos regardless, so stay tuned for that. But what I did decide to do yesterday was put some performance goals in place, rather than, like I say, being super focused on physique and appearance. I thought, yeah, some performance targets will give me that sort of mental drive and motivation to take something away from my training more so than just how I look. So what I did was log a couple of fitness specific goals and then some in-gym strength focused goals, but also still with that bodybuilding side of things. That hypertrophy training is, you know, not really fussed for a 1 rep max. I might have a 1 rep max every so often, you know, just for a bit of fun, depending on training with, they might want to do the same. But yeah, just some targets, something to work towards. So my one main goal is not even really fitness or strength related, it's just to be more present. I mean, you could have a ramble about that for ages, to be fair, because I think I'm a bit of a stressor. Millie says I put a lot of pressure on myself, so I'm constantly thinking, well, have I done enough today? have I been productive enough? What about tomorrow? How am I going to set my day up? Worrying about yesterday and tomorrow, well, I'm not being present, I'm not focusing on today, and I think I'm quite guilty of that. My days seem to absolutely fly by recently, and I think that's because, like I say, I'm stressing, I'm worrying about what happened yesterday, what's happened earlier on in the day, what's happening tomorrow. Just need to be present. So yeah, that's the main goal. And I think I am getting better with it, to be honest. Just need to put this thing down, turn it off every so often. So my 2 performance goals, fitness goals, are one is going to be a sub 35k, and the other, I'm yet to determine, want to compare myself somewhat to, I won't even say, I should probably research this, but maybe like a linebacker in the NFL sort of thing. That's not to say I play in the NFL, but maybe a rough height and weight per position kind of thing, and then what's a good sprint time for that position, if that makes sense. So yeah, maybe a linebacker. I'd have to do some research into say height and weight and what would be a good speed for that. And then I also need to see currently where I'm at in terms of that sort of sprint time, so it'd be like a 40-yard dash time. And obviously with the 5k, I have no idea where that is, because wanting to start running, wanting to incorporate some runs into the circuits and just runs in general. Did one bar for a time, I just thought I'd run. Then I had that, I don't know if I mentioned it on one of the videos, I had a bit of a stomach bug, so that pushed me back. I sort of fell off the circuits, got back into it, but didn't start running again. Wanted to run this week, and I've done something to my Achilles, and it feels like it's going to pop when I walk, never mind run. So those goals might be on the back burner for a little bit, to be honest. But like I said, gym performance goals, strength performance goals. Trained with my mate Greenie the week of my wedding last year, when I told Millie I would be taking things easy, being sensible, have it as a bit of a deload. I hope that don't mess up the audio. I essentially live on a building site. It's a new build, and all the other a lot of the other houses are still going up, and they will be for a while. So there's constantly diggers and machinery and stuff going on, which it's not too bad actually. It's never mega noisy, but always when I seem to be wanting to film a video outside. So yeah, trained with Greenie. He was an absolute monster of a power lifter a good few years back. Now he's just a dosser that looks fucking amazing. So he's not done any, he said he'd not deadlifted in a long time either. I think he'd pulled over, I know he squatted 300, deadlifted probably more than that. I went to watch him in a competition once, and his opening squat was a British record. Yeah, he's a monster. So we had a back session together the week of the wedding. Like I said, I told Millie I'd be super sensible. I decided to go for a 1 rep max and pull 240, which is a lifetime PB for me. I'm not someone who doesn't really conventional deadlift. It's not been in my programming for years, to be honest. Used to pull sumo quite a lot prior to starting my bodybuilding journey, and then just RDL and SLDLs. So what I've decided to give myself a target of is a 240 deadlift for 5 solid reps. Then I would like, as I've just incorporated Smith machine squats into my leg days, I would like to go for, again, 5 reps, good quality, good depth, still get good engagement through the quads, for a 5 plate on the Smith machine. Might not be impressive to many, but you know, it's one I'm at the minute. I think I did 3.5 the other day for 8 or 9 maybe. So it might not be a million miles off. Maybe get a little bit more body weight behind me, and we'll see where things are at. And then I've just put back in for the first time in a while. In fact, well, not in a while. I've not done any free weight pressing movements since before prep started, so this year. I can't really remember what I was on. I know I flat dumbbell pressed 60 kg in a gym with Jay, but Maloney's and Body Station running pounds. So I'm going to aim for a 120 pound each arm, of course, dumbbell incline press. We'll see where things are at with that. because I'm making some decent progression on that these past few weeks. But like I said, not done any free weight pressing movements, so stability is a bit of an issue. My dodgy shoulder from the reconstructive surgery is a bit of an issue, but I think once I sort of settle into the movement, settle into some free weight stuff, it should fly up. I think the first week, I'm sure I struggled on 70s, but then I put up 95s for 8th the other day, maybe, something like that. I should have probably checked my logbook. You're probably not that bothered, but yeah, they're my goals. That's what's going to happen. Might do some videos of hybrid training. Might get a bike. Might try and swim. Should do a triathlon. Nah, let's not get ahead of ourselves. But yeah, hopefully this video hasn't been too boring. Just listening to my drill voice for 17 minutes. I can definitely crop that down. I need to crop that down. But yeah, thank you very much for watching. Hope you've enjoyed a non-food related video, and hopefully you've seen this video out. Do the liking, subscribing stuff, follow my channel. I'm gonna get into videoing more, just because why not? Just document the journey, have a bit of fun with it, and I will see you all later, alligator.